diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Isaac Parks, who's a punter out of UNC Pembroke. How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing, Jimmy?
Just hanging out. Can you maybe just describe to our viewers just a little bit about your overall career?
Yeah, so I was a walk-on at North Carolina A&T State University, where I was a backup for a year and a half, in which case I transferred to UNC Pembroke and got a big slice of humble pie, and because I wasn't very good. And then I started trying to get good, and I practiced a lot and worked really hard. And then I had one All-American season as a sophomore and then another one as a junior.
Gotcha. I mean, I don't think you're that bad right now. I mean, obviously you got yourself to a point where, you got yourself noticed. You got yourself actually 2 All-American seasons, which is cool. So tell me something, Isaac. How'd you end up being a punter? I mean, how does that happen? I mean, obviously most kids aren't like, hey, I'm going to grow up, I'm going to be a punter. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so as a freshman in high school, I was kind of short, kind of fat. Coaches didn't really know what to do with me. Wasn't really athletic looking. So they actually had me as an O lineman at first, like an O line, D line guy, just off of my build. And then I got concussed, just kind of running my head into somebody going too fast. So I was like, all right, time for a career change. And just picked up a football and started kicking it and just went to my backyard every day and would just kick it and kick it and kick it until eventually I got good at it.
Cool. So, I mean, did you ever go to like a lot of kicking camps or anything? I mean, talk to me about those sorts of experiences.
Yeah, I never really got to get into the big kicking camp circuit. I was much more of like an individual, personal kicking coach type of guy. I worked with, for my high school career, I call him the juggernaut of the East Coast for kickers. His name is Dan Orner. So I worked with him like 5 or 6 times while I was in high school, and he's really what made me go from like a just some random kicker, to really having a shot to get a preferred walk-on at a FCS school, which is saying a lot for really, only kicking 3 years at that point. I only worked with him for 2 years. But I'd never really had a chance to go to a lot of these big camps, these big Coles camps with, 500, 600 guys at them, or I don't know, maybe 100, 150. I was mostly working with like 10 or 12 people.
Gotcha. I don't know. Answer this for me. What is your approach, maybe your mentality towards training?
Yeah, so training I find to be just trying to be very detail oriented, just really focused on making a bunch of small improvements, and kind of just like hard work, just work ethic. I feel like it's important to get a lot of reps, to get a lot of just time out on the field. So just spend a lot of time doing it, pay attention to the small details that come to kicking, and just kind of grind away at it has always been my approach.
Cool. So, I mean, what are the key attributes of an elite punter? What would you say is, again, some of the key attributes?
So I would say for me, the number one key attribute is you got to have some grit. Like as a punter, you got to have some hair on your nuts when you're back there getting ready to kick the football, because things are going to go awry in a football game. Every other position group has to deal with it, and we're no different. But you just can't be one of those guys that makes all these excuses and wants to blame everything else. It was the snap. It was my blocker. Somebody got in my ear. They were yelling at me on the sideline. Like, no. Catch the ball, kick the ball, and just do it again, and just keep getting, get better and have a little bit of grit when you're out there playing football. It's the game of football. We're no exception to it. And then I think the second one is probably just being like detail oriented. You got to know there's a lot of small things that go into punting. So being able to pay attention to them, and have an understanding of them is going to help you slowly make improvements and stay consistent.
So, yeah, I was going to ask you, I mean, how do you prepare for worst case scenario? I mean, if someone's coming in, like for a block, or, maybe even you have to tackle somebody, or sometimes the weather is like your biggest opponent in a game. I mean, how do you prepare for those things that are more or less outside of your control?
Yeah, so I would say it's like a lot like what you just said. You understand that a lot of it's outside of my control. Um, so far as for things like weather, like just don't let it get into your head the best you can. If it's gusty or windy or rainy, hey, okay, that's something that's going on outside of me. I just got to worry about kicking the football. Um, you know, for everything else, it's just like, you can do tackling drills, tackling circuits, stuff like that. And then aside from that, just be an athlete, be ready to make a play, when stuff goes down, ball goes over your head, you know, got to run back and make a play, just be athletic, be quick, make game decisions quickly. And then for all the things that you can practice, that you should practice, like just high snaps, low snaps, left and right, just take a lot of reps of those and just kind of prepare yourself mentally that anything could happen. Stay in that headspace even in a game.
Gotcha. So walk me through some of those kicking drills that you do in order to better yourself. I mean, maybe what's your favorite drill that you've been doing, or I don't know, anything about those drills so that you can maybe enlighten some of the people that don't understand how much of an athlete punters are. So.
Oh man. So for me, the thing that I've been doing the most recently, that I found has been helping me out a lot has just been, I like to call them like 50% or contact drills. So just going 50% power and just really focusing on, footwork and just hitting nice clean punts with a high consistency rate. Just really getting a feel for it. It helps me know where I'm at. It helps me understand where my form's at and just get really good contact without having to put too much duress on my body.
Cool. And I was just going to kind of give you the opportunity maybe to, I don't know, walk me through a memorable play or moment, a game, something in your career that just stands out.
Okay, so I've got one that I always go to, and I think for many, it's hard to beat. It's a moment that's very hard to beat for punters, aside from maybe running for a touchdown. Um, I would say, so we're playing against Newberry, and it's this gritty defense special teams battle, essentially, and it's like my third punt. I go out there, and we're in like the first quarter still. So I go out there, and the ball's on the plus 47-yard line, um, and just get a really nice. It's a floater, and it just takes this really beautiful bounce. It lands on like the 7, hits a nice slow roll, is down on the 1-yard line. Didn't need any help. Okay, so they're backed up 1-yard line. They go 3 and out, punt it back to us. Okay, we get the ball. Very next drive, we go 3 and out. Now we're on the opposite side of the 50-yard line, and we're on like the minus 47 now. So I catch the ball and I hit it, and I think I crushed this thing on accident. I think I'm launching it 10 deep into the end zone, and that thing just checks on the 1-yard line, just takes a straight bounce up and just dribbles down, and the crowd's going crazy. The announcers have no idea how that happened. Everybody's losing their mind. Back-to-back 1-yard line punts, just hard to beat. It's just, there's just not much of a better feeling as a punter.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you describe that in such a way that's almost similar to like golf, where like they hit a ball and like it just kind of, like doing a chip shot
Yeah.
sometimes, just in order to get like to that right spot that you want it to be. So, um, I was also going to ask you, like, are you like an Aussie style kicker? Have you ever tried that? Is that in your repertoire at all? I mean, talk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, so I hit some Aussie style punts. I'm a traditional style punter, so I like to just straight down the chute, left and right, stuff like that. Um, but I've got the Aussie in my bag, so put that nose down, hit a little bit of a backspin. I've definitely put my fair share of people inside the 5-yard line doing that.
Cool.
So
So I mean, you got a few golf clubs in the bag, so to speak,
Oh
which
yeah,
is kind of
definitely.
cool. Um, so yeah, I mean, obviously these past couple years been really good for you. I mean, last year, past couple years being named All American, you had an average of 45.7 yards per punt last year on 52 punts. 19 of those were inside the 20-yard line, which is great. And actually, the previous year you had 21 punts inside the 20-yard line. So
Hmm.
definitely a very effective punter. Um, so Isaac, tell me maybe who you are outside of football. I mean, I realize that you just graduated with a degree in marketing.
Hmm.
So maybe talk to me a little bit about who you are as a student, and maybe just you outside of sports in general, like what kind of a person you are. So go for it.
So as a student, I'd like to just describe myself as just a guy who gets done what he needs to get done. You know, it's school for me has never been fun. It's not a passion, but I get it done. I think I had like a 3.4 GPA. You know, nothing to write home to mom about, but I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna try to succeed at a high level, and off the field the same way I would on the field. Um, but then as like somebody outside, I'm a family guy. I have a fiance. I spend lots of time with her. I love spending time with her. Um, I just, I love to grill. I like to just sit back and watch football. I'm just laid back. I just enjoy spending time, being social. Not, I don't think I'm an exciting person. I don't live some extravagant life. I just, I love to hang out and just kind of just enjoy life. So,
So you're hanging out with your fiance, you're maybe chilling, watching TV or something. What are you binge watching on TV?
so right now we are big binge watchers. So right now we're working our way through American Horror Story. Um, so that's what we're doing. We love watching movies. We have pretty much exhausted Netflix of their movies, I feel like. Or at least of their movies worth watching.
Hey, do whatever you can do. I mean, obviously, quarantine is what it is. A lot of people are stuck inside. I mean, I know you've been out, you've been trying to, still work, work out whenever you can. But
Yep.
obviously, you know, recently being engaged, if people don't already know, you could, check out a video of you proposing, which is really cool. So, you know, on the football field,
Yeah.
proposing. I don't know. It's just kind of wild. I mean, I feel like you just got to watch the video. Um, but so cool. I want to give you the opportunity maybe to give some shout outs to a few guys, some of the coaches and maybe some of the teammates along the way. Go ahead. I mean, who do we got to give a little bit of love to?
So first of all, got to give a little bit of love. Old head coach, Coach Rich, took a chance on me when he brought me into Pembroke. Created an atmosphere that I was able to succeed in. Um, Great guy and a good mentor for me. And then after that, I got to give a shout out to the bomb squad at Pembroke. A lot of guys that I worked with: Alex Alvarado, Ryan Watkins, Gerardo Rivera, Chris Canuto, Alex Hodge. Those are the guys that are currently there. Shout out to some of the old guys I used to kick with: Sean Andrew, Kobe Lindsay, Hunter Braswell, Nate Williams, and the oldest of them all, the guy I kicked with in high school, Francisco Lopez. Never forget. And James Mackey at A&T. So let me
Awesome.
see if I'm missing anybody.
No, it's all good. So I just feel like there's a little bit of corniness when you're saying like I'm kicking it with these guys. It's just kind
A
of fun. Ha ha ha. So it's funny.
little joke for us punters. A little joke
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
little special teams.
Uh, hey man, before I let you go, I always ask guys this question, and it's really just the why question. Tell me why you play football.
Yeah. So it's really just two parts. I just want to leave a legacy of hard work and and just dedication to the craft, and just leave a legacy of just getting it done and just finding a way and being a real blue collar kicker. And then the second part is I have a lot to prove to myself. I feel like I wasn't taken very seriously in high school. Um, even at my first college, when I was at A&T, I didn't feel like they took me super seriously either. Nothing against the coaches. I didn't really prove myself, but at the same time, it creates this attitude of like, I got something to prove to myself. I've got something to show people. But most importantly, I've got something to show myself, to show that I can do it with anybody at any level.
Cool. And very final thing is just to give me your final pitch to a professional team. What kind of teammate would they be getting if they signed you?
Yeah. So, I mean, if I get signed, I think they're bringing somebody who is ambitious, who is hardworking, who's ready to just grind away and get done what they need to get done. I believe strongly that I bring up the level of play of the people around me by just being a great leader and just loving the game of football, just going out there and having a fun time while doing it. So hopefully they'd find somebody or they're finding me as a person who's just providing a lot of valuables to the team outside of how far I can kick a ball. I'm somebody who's going to influence other guys to work harder. I'm going to influence other guys to pay attention to small details and just provide a lot of value to the culture around special teams and hopefully make their lives a little bit easier too as well.
Cool. So, and whenever necessary, maybe tackle like as a last line of defense.
Oh, yeah. I got it done. I got 3 tackles on my
man. Woo.
0 touchdowns, 3 tackles.
Yeah. Let's not want that, but the fact that you got it is good. So the last line of defense, that's what we want that for. So hey Isaac, this has been cool. I do really appreciate our time together. Just kind of getting to know you a little bit, on and off the field, and really just what you do as a punter. So really one of the greatest punters at the small school level right now. Again, this is Isaac Parks, punter at UNC Pembroke. Best of luck to you moving forward, Isaac.
All right. Thank you so much.